Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another TheMMATakeover.com interview. My name is Keith Schillen. Today, if you follow us, you realize we're doing something completely different. We're doing a video call instead of your regular phone call. The reason why we're doing that is because we're talking to a fighter all the way on the other side of the world. If you can see in the picture, that fighter is a fighter who is on a 7-fight winning streak. He just picked up the biggest win of his career, a knockout over Ronald Souza. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Whittaker. Robert, how you doing, man?
Yeah, very well, mate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We know you're in high demand. You're one of the top fighters in the world. You're coming off the biggest win of your career, riding high. How's life being now that you just picked up this huge victory?
It's funny, I've gotten this question a couple of times, and
okay.
I'm really happy that I got that win. I'm proud of myself and I'm proud of my team. We've made some huge gains, and I've solidified my spot in the fighting world. But I came home and my kids still cry, and my kids still scream.
Yeah.
My wife still nags me, so I'm still normal.
Well, when you win the title, the kid will stop screaming. That's like part of the thing. You win the title, kids don't cry anymore.
That's part of the dream. That's why I'm heading there so hard.
Yeah. So I got to get this right out there because, we have very passionate fans. They'll say, Keith, you were scared to say this to him. Be a man, say it. I have predicted against you on this show. I've predicted against you twice. So I am your good luck charm. I pick against you. You win by a brutal knockout.
Yeah. So, keep doubting then.
Yeah. Hey, you're making me look like an idiot. It's not that hard to make me look like an idiot, but obviously you're doing a good job of it. So let's talk about the fight. You fought Jacare. You actually came in as the underdog, and you won. I mean, even the biggest Robert Whittaker backers, I don't think they expected that dominant fashion. When you were looking at tape, when you were in training camp, did you expect it to be that dominant and that easy?
I don't think any fighter going into a fight can expect that sort of result. I trained my absolute ass off for that fight, man. Because I 100% respect all of Jacare's abilities.
Sure.
And I went into that fight with complete and utter respect for him. So that's why I trained so hard, and I stuck in the program, and I did what I needed to do.
There was word about you having a possible hand injury. How's that going?
It's good, that's just one of the, I guess the nature of the beast. When you throw your hands at people's skulls, they sometimes get hurt. So,
yeah. Is it broken?
It's got some trauma to it. I've always had some hand issues, but I'm just going through like a bit of a rehab strengthening process at the moment. The thing is, it's not necessarily about getting it back to performance for the next fight, which is, that's the goal.
Yep.
It's also to make sure that it's well and truly usable when I'm 30, 31, 32, 33.
Yeah.
It's about the longevity of my career. I don't want my hands giving out now when I'm 26 and I still got my prime to come up.
Yeah, and you got a little baby at home. You have to hold hands, walk across the street, stuff like that.
100%. How am I going to teach him the piano otherwise?
There you go. Yeah. So let's get right into it. After the fight, you called for a fight with Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping responded. He's obviously the champion of the UFC right now, the middleweight division. He responded saying, he thinks you deserve the fight over Yoel Romero. So let's go. You get the matchup. Something happens with GSP. They throw you in. How's that fight go?
It's a tough fight. He's a tough dude. But I think I have too many tools to starch him, to be honest. I was prepared for that fight, 2 years ago now.
Yep.
And I think I can honestly say I haven't gotten worse since then.
No. No. I think you improved since your Mike Rhodes fight.
Yeah, big time.
So obviously, the middleweight division is a big controversy in the world of MMA. It seems like what everyone's always talking about. They're talking about Michael Bisping, George St. Pierre. Some people are excited St. Pierre is back, getting the title shot. Of course, I would say the majority of people are actually upset about it. They're saying, St. Pierre shouldn't have jumped the line. Obviously, I'm assuming you're in that camp, that you don't think he deserved to jump the line, and I'm sure you're probably even more angry now that he's talking about fighting in November. Let's hear your thoughts on the whole St. Pierre situation.
Yeah. Okay. I first and foremost, I'm a huge fan of George.
Yeah.
Huge fan. Personally and sports wise as well.
Sure.
A huge fan. But he's jumped the queue. Everyone else has had to slog their way through a tough division. This division is tough, and we've had to fight our way and slog our way up there. And George did cut the queue. He did. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, because he's a legend. He's a living legend in the sport.
Sure.
If anyone deserves it, he does.
Okay,
But the fact that he can't fight until November just puts that logjam up into our division, and it's hard, man. But, I want to clarify. I think a lot of people misunderstood what I was saying, in some interviews directly after my fight, that I was going to wait out a year or so for that belt to fall into my lap, and that's not what I'm going to do.
Okay.
My intention is, one, Bisping called me out. So if I have to pick between Luke Rockhold or Michael Bisping, who has the belt, it's where am I going to go? You guys choose where I'm going to go. So that's what I said. But I have no intention of sitting out for a year while George and Bisping, I don't know, maybe fight. You know what I mean? But with that fight being dragged out, the time length that it has, it's where's the incentive? My goal is to become middleweight champion of the world, and there is no path to that right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is such a logjam in that top 5 to title fight positioning that there's no way there. There's no clear way there. I fight Luke Rockhold, I fight Yoel Romero, and then what? I sit still. I sit here and wait.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue with the middleweight division. You talk about other division. Take flyweight. We're trying to figure out who's the next fighter, who's next in line. No one can figure out who deserves a title shot. Middleweight, there is the full line ready to go of 3, 4, 5 guys who deserve. You, Luke Rockhold, obviously Yoel Romero. I mean, Anderson Silva's talking about title fights. So one thing, obviously, one big thing that happened this week is Luke Rockhold was on Ariel Helwani's show. He mentioned that he was offered a fight with you. Is that true?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Okay. So it wasn't offered to you.
No, not that I know of. Maybe my coaching staff keep me in the dark with those things. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the UFC went to him first. If he said yes, then they would have went to you. Okay.
Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Okay. Obviously, that's a fight you'd be interested in if they did offer it to you.
Oh, of course. I for one, I love fighting.
Okay,
so
that's good.
That's kind of why I do this. I genuinely love fighting. 2, that's a great fight. It's going to be a tough fight, but you have to look at it from my perspective. And Luke himself stated it that we're all trying to get up there to become champion.
That's right.
We all want that goal. That's kind of why we fought the whole division to get to where we want to go.
Sure.
And me and him fight. Where does that leave us? That leaves us with a couple more scars waiting till next year.
That's right.
And if you want to fight Luke Rockhold in your off time,
no, not me.
just because you can, I think you've got some issues.
Yeah, it has to be a big paycheck. It's one of those Nate Diaz he's talking about, with the big paychecks to get that incentive. What about if they threw an interim title? I mean, you heard this week Anderson Silva said he wants to fight Yoel Romero. Yoel jumped on the show. He talked. He said, yes, I want to fight Anderson Silva for interim title. Dana White said no interim title. He said no interim title for Anderson Silva. They go to you. They say, hey, you versus Yoel Romero, or you versus Rockhold for interim title. Does that make it any different?
Like I said before, I love fighting.
Okay.
I'm already halfway there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You put something shiny in front of me, you've got me.
Yeah.
You got me hook, line, and sinker.
Okay. Another thing that caught my eye this week when we booked to have you on the show, obviously anything that says Robert Whittaker I got to ask you about. Gegard Mousasi, there was a video going around where he was asked questions. He was doing a kind of like, what do they call it, a word association, where they say a word or a name and they say, hey, give you 1 or 2 or 3 words. He said, they asked him, Michael Bisping, he says, easiest fight in the division. They say Robert Whittaker, he goes, second easiest fight in the division. I don't know if you saw that video. If you didn't, you have a response for him?
Um, I don't know. Maybe I am. It's like
Okay.
I don't know. Like I'm not even fighting him right now. I'll worry about that when I fight him. Is you know, yeah, whatever.
Okay. So no response. I mean, I'm sure that doesn't want you to get in there and get a piece of. I know he's possibly a free agent. Looks like he's going to re-sign with the UFC. That doesn't make you want to get him even more.
I've never been big on that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think if you've followed me in any way,
Sure.
you know that I don't deal with that sort of stuff. And you know, he might not be wrong.
Okay. Wow.
Who really knows?
Yeah.
But I'll worry about that when I fight him. I'm
Yeah.
not fighting him now, so I don't have to worry about that.
I think Derek Brunson and Jacare Souza, I think some of those guys might disagree with his opinion.
Yeah, probably. You know, and yeah, I got nothing to say.
So let's talk about that. So you're not a big trash talker. Obviously, you fought Jacare. He's not a big trash talker. You guys both very respectful to each other. That's your style. Are you worried about the marketing part of MMA because of that? Because it seems like the guys who are pushing trash talking, they get the push. I mean, Daniel Cormier, John Jones is making headlines because they're going at each other on Twitter. I mean, Conor McGregor. I mean, they make whole shows and highlight shows of him trash talking. Are you worried that you might not get a push because of that?
Yeah, not really. You know, like even if I tried trash talking, I think it'd come off force. I think people would be like, I think people would know that I'm just putting it on.
Sure.
I resolved when I started this just to be me. You know, and my biggest thing is if you want to watch good fights, come watch me. You know, I'm an exciting fighter. I put on exciting shows, and you know, that's what I do. That's where I'll speak the loudest is in my fights, in my performances.
Okay. Bisping, St. Pierre, you have a prediction for that fight?
Dude, that's a tough fight. Bisping's a veteran of the sport, man, and I think he has what it takes to beat George. But in saying that, George, like I said before, is a legend. He's been around the ringer, and yeah, you know, he knows what he's doing. How he deals with going up to middleweight is a different story. Mm-hmm. But I think both dudes have what it takes to beat each other. I'm on the fence.
Okay. Now let's say that fight happens. You get set up in a number one contenders elimination match, say a Romero Rockhold. You win that fight. Your cage side. I know you say you just love to fight. I'm assuming you're probably going to say I'll take either guy, but they give you a chance. You get to fight George St. Pierre, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Michael Bisping, who in my opinion is extremely underrated in the all-time rankings. I think he's done incredibly well in this sport. I don't think he gets enough credit. Yours cage side, you're fighting the winner. Who do you want to fight?
It's funny. You said I'll fight whoever, and like whoever wins that fight, I want to fight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm trying to get a name, man. I got to get a headline. You know, if you say whoever, it doesn't get a headline. If he says, I think I want St. Pierre or I want Bisping, I got to get the headline, man.
You know, if I had to pick, I'd probably be more inclined to say I fight Bisping.
Okay.
You know, because I was supposed to fight him once already.
Sure.
So, and you know, I thought back then I'd win that fight. So yep. Now, you know, I think I've gotten better.
And what about you said you don't like talking trash. Bisping, obviously, he's like a master at talking trash. You know he's going to be talking trash. That affect you at all? Would you respond to the trash talk? I know they'd have press conferences and face-offs, and he's talking even on the ring. I mean, you saw his fight against Luke Rockhold. They're standing in, getting the instructions from the ref, and he's still trash talking. Would you engage in any of that?
I can't. You know, it's like I'd try to.
Yeah.
If I tried, I'd just fail.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose the trash talk battle.
Yeah, but let alone, I think he'd beat me in the trash talk.
Yeah, people can talk about Bisping how they want in his fighting skills. He is a good trash talker.
He is, and he's a good fighter. So
he's a very good fighter.
Yeah, I'll just wait until we start slagging it out.
All right, so we do this thing with our partner group, the MMA Freaks. It's a forum that's attached to our website. I said, hey, I'm interviewing Robert Whittaker today, and they said, hey, we got to do a word association like what they did with Gegard Mousasi. This is the last time I'm going to get you out of here real quick. I'm going to ask you a couple names, couple people. Just give me, real short thought. All right? Michael Bisping,
Yeah, I'm so bad at these, dude.
You're too nice. The problem is you're too nice.
um, I don't know. Like the first thing that comes to my head is like, cool dude.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Is
Hey.
that weird? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's all right. He's all right.
All right. George St. Pierre.
Legend.
Okay. Gegard Mousasi.
Good fighter.
How about Anderson Silva?
Did he just retire?
I don't know. Well, I mean, we can get him on. Hopefully, we can get him on, and then we'll find out.
Another legend, living legend.
Okay. How about Yoel Romero?
Crazy.
I mean, that poor guy. They can't wait any longer to give him a title fight. I mean, he might be a grandfather or something if they make him wait any longer.
Dude, that's so true.
I mean, you're what, 26, right?
Yeah, 26.
Yeah. That poor guy. He's what, 86?
Yes, something like that.
No, I'm actually a big fan of Romero. I think he deserves a shot. I would love to see you two match up against each other. How about Luke Rockhold?
He's a top dude. Love him. Top athlete, top dude.
All right, I got another one. How about Kelvin Gastelum?
He's a cool kid. He's a cool dude. He's making a tear in the division. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see people having success.
Yeah, I know a lot of times when these welterweights they move up to middleweight or move up a division, they kind of get counted out. But I'm sure he's on your radar because you did the same thing. I mean, when you first came in the division, I'll be honest. I mean, I picked against you twice. The last 2 fights, I'll admit it. I picked against you. I'm assuming that's something you think. A lot of guys. No one's mentioning Kelvin Gastelum's name. I'm sure he's on your radar.
Yeah, no, I saw him in welterweight, and he made a tear there, and there's no saying he won't make a tear here if he stays here.
All right, I'm gonna give you 2 more quick ones. I'm gonna try to get you out because I know you have a busy day. Conor McGregor.
Like I can't give one word associations.
Okay.
I'm very bad at
All right,
that.
give me a long
so
one.
I'll just say, man, it's hard not to believe him.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're a Conor fan.
I wouldn't say fan.
Okay.
I wouldn't say fan, but he's doing well. He's doing real well.
All right. And last one, Dana White.
The boss. He's the boss.
Okay.
So there's the boss.
Robert Whittaker, the nicest guy in the UFC. Doesn't say anything bad about anybody. So real quick, let's get to know you real quick. I know you're a brand new father. Congratulations on that. You're smashing guys. You're training all the time. So when you not doing the daddy duty, you're not training. How do you try to pass your time? Is there a TV show, a movie, video games, anything?
I play a hell of a lot of video games, mate.
Oh, okay. Anything in particular?
Yeah. I'm into old school RuneScape at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Do you play online with the headphones and talking to people, or?
Yeah, I do. I got a bunch of buddies I play with, and we get together and just muck around. It's good to take a load off.
Now, are you a better fighter or a better video game player?
Definitely better fighter.
Okay. All right, my very last question. I appreciate you coming on. On behalf of all the fans of MMA Takeover, we appreciate you taking the time, speaking with us, especially all the way across the entire world. It's early morning. It's actually Wednesday there. It's only Tuesday here. So my very last question to you is, have you submitted to the Takeover?
I'm Rob Whittaker, and I have submitted to the Takeover.
Robert, on behalf of the entire staff here, I want to welcome you to the MMA Takeover family, and we wish you good luck in all future fights and everything you endure.
Thank you very much, mate. It was a pleasure being on.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our interview with UFC Middleweight Robert Whittaker. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and head over to our website, themmatatakeover.com, to receive all the best MMA news. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for listening.